Okay. So what we ended up doing is we had a stack of cards that had detailed instructions for one task. It was the who, what, when, where, whatever, but also it sometimes had pictures, it had an arrow, all this stuff, but it was in the to be done pile. Now this is not, there's not 5 things to do. There was one thing to do.
Now your host, Josh Denhart.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Lead Ministry Podcast. We're grateful that you're here. My name is Josh Denhart, and we're grateful. We're in the middle of a month about events and how you can and should dominate at ministry events. Hey, listen, you got Sunday, that's great. Maybe you have a midweek, but as you throw in these kind of like one-off events, sometimes it can get a little bit crazy. You're thinking in your mind, can I even make sense of all of this? And there is a lot to be said about meeting and figuring out how to meet with the team of leaders and how to orchestrate everything for a big upcoming event. Well, Bill, we're grateful that you're here, buddy.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Good to see you. Does your church have lots of events, big events?
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, we have the normal, like every ministry does events, but then we have soon to have 3 major outreach events, one for each of our campuses.
Well, I saw one huge one that was very recent. You sent me a YouTube video. It looked like was that at your campus, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was at my campus. Yeah, we in our downtown campus, we do something called Community Christmas. So it's a Christmas event, but it's really geared towards everyone in the community. We do, name the Christmas nostalgia feels, and we put it in there.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, and so like live nativity, we have a horse-drawn carriage. We have Christmas caroling. We have Christmas decorating. Oh, that's
fun. Cookie decorating.
Cookie decorating. That's super fun.
Yeah, we have food. It's like all of it. And the purpose is to kind of love on our community, but then of course we invite them to our services and tell them about our Christmas Eve. And
yeah, I mean, let's get real. They call it, if you've been on staff at a church or been around Christianity for any length of time, they call it the C and E crowd, the Christmas and Easter crowd. Mm-hmm. People who only come at Christmas and only come at Easter, and that's their affiliation with your church. But if you can get them to come to something early on and hey, actually, you don't just have to have the nostalgia on Christmas Eve with your family one time a year as everybody's dressed up and you've eaten your big meal. Mm-hmm. You can actually come to this cool thing. And then it just bridges a gap and it causes people to feel just that much more familiar with your church. And then at some point, who knows what the circumstances of their life are going to bring, that church then becomes something that they need.
Right. Yeah. And it's interesting because businesses do this too. It's like the used car lot that's we're going to have a family fun day where we give out hot dogs and popcorn and you can come and all this stuff is free. And then it's oh, I'm on the car lot. Now I'm familiar with the car lot. When I need a car again,
I'm more likely to come to this car lot than I am the car lot across the road.
Absolutely. Yep.
And so it is breeding familiarity. It's also the hopes of relationship, right? Mm-hmm. But as we talk about this kind of event thing this entire month, and of course, the course lead events is very thorough. But today we're going to talk about the always do and never do of events. Well, most people, as kind of to kick this off, most people don't think about the 3 main resource buckets that a church has. Of course, everybody thinks in terms of a budget, in terms of financial budget. And they're like, oh, you got the dollars and the cents. Totally get it. And your church sometimes does things or doesn't do things based on a financial budget. They're like, I think we're going to have to pull that off next year because we just don't have the finances to do that. I mean, Bill, you've
Right.
been in that situation, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there's the stark reality is resources are limited.
That's right. And so most people only think about a financial budget, but there are two others. And the first one, of course, is financial budget. That's dollars and cents. The next one is a human resource budget, where it's like, should we do this event? Do we have the manpower? Well, we do, but we just had an event last week. Everybody's a little bit fried. Nobody wants to give of their time again. I think we have utilized and maybe overutilized our human resource budget. Let's not do that thing.
Oh yeah, that's for real. We've had major events that we've stopped because of number two, because of the human budget. And you know, sometimes events just run their course.
Mm-hmm.
And when that happens, you can get people to continue to do it for a while, but it's kind of like lost its luster.
Yep.
And also the people doing it are just doing it out of, you know, duty, not out
That's
of,
right.
We're excited for this.
Yes. And as a leader, we need to begin to have eyesight and lenses, right? To be able to see, wow, are people continuing to come to this event? Okay. Are our volunteers, do they got that extra little sparkle? And that's something to consider. But, you know, the human resource budget, I really appreciate, Bill, that your church has chosen to do or not to do something based on the human resource budget. A lot of churches are like, you know what? They don't even think about that they have a human resource budget. They're like, go find more volunteers.
Right.
It's like, yeah, more bricks, no more straw. Let's figure that out, you know?
That's exactly it.
And then, of course, the final one is a space budget, like your facility budget. And you do run into people. But I guess I would say from a facility budget, I mean, it comes down to, hey, can I fight you over that closet?
That's true. Yeah, but there's a facilities budget sometimes in, you know, I think churches can get into conflict in, you know, overlapping ministries, and they can fight over spaces. And if you have your event this day, then we have to make this turnaround for the next day.
Right.
And you know, and so so that is a piece of it. Is something you have to consider.
It is.
What are we doing to our teams? What are we doing to our facilities people?
Yes.
Do we have enough room for all this stuff?
Right. And I think the one that you brought up is very interesting. Like, we're having this huge event. We have to strike the stage. And how many hours is it going to take to reset up the main stage for Sunday worship? And an event that ends at 7 or 8 p.m. on Saturday night? That's now you're talking about a facilities budget issue. That things are backing up against one another. So that's just a little bit of a backdrop. I guess we'll call that one a freebie today, right? The three different budgets. But again, we're talking today about the do's and don'ts, the always do's and the never do's of an event. So this first one is always use, in terms of promotion, always use local free promotion through social media, through community boards, through anything that is free. What you don't want to do is spend thousands and thousands of dollars on glossy mailers that just get thrown away. Bill, talk to us.
Oh yeah, this is so true. Okay, so there are alternatives though, like immediately, because I'm a church communications guy, so I know marketing a lot, and so there's a couple of things here that are super actionable that I can share. So one is when it comes to social media, the groups that you need to find in your local area, if you really want to have successful events that are geared towards families, are all of the mom groups. Okay.
Yes.
Who sets the agenda for their family? Mom does.
The mom
does. And mom says to dad, you know, if that's your family situation, if mom says to dad, she says, hey, there is a fall fest this weekend. We are going.
Clear your calendar.
And so like the only time that it actually has been worth it for us as a church to like make sure our message gets out there is to go to some of the organizers of these mom groups. And a lot of times they have advertising packages that you they'll put you to the top of their page and they will promote you multiple times and they'll put images on there. That's better than you posting because it just looks like you're posting all of your stuff. They'll post for you. And so like those have been worth their weight in gold to reach out to the mom groups and actually ask them to advertise.
Okay, so as soon as you started to speak about this, I was like, when it's my turn, I'm going to share about the Des Moines Moms blog. And so I live in Des Moines, Iowa, and there is a Des Moines Moms blog. It's shared by like 5 different ladies, and sometimes it's a blog, right? And literally 50,000 people hit this page every week. You know what I mean? I mean, it's really, really, really popular. I never thought about them having an advertising package. I've never looked, but by just going onto their page and filling out their form, you're a part of their scrolling marquee of things that are upcoming in your town. So the Des Moines Moms blog was a big one for us. Now I'm going to push pause just for half a second. I just had a coaching call 2 days ago, and on that coaching call, we were talking about events. And the thing that I suggested is that, and we did this, that we had a very heavy duty comprehensive list of this Christian radio station and the link that you could just fill out their form and it would be on their page. This other Christian radio station, the Des Moines Moms blog, and the link and the point of contact. And so then we, the different TV stations you can get on their rolling roster of events that are coming up. Sometimes they would have me on TV and I would come be a guest, but here's the protocol and here's the number to fill out this form or whatever. So long before we're ever actually pulling off the event or thinking about marketing, sit down and come up with the list of everything. And then that list exists. And then all of a sudden, 3 years down the road, you're like, oh, wow, there's a new point of contact for the radio station. Change that out. But then this comprehensive list. Now, you can put what goals you have, how we've leveraged this in the past, and you make this little spreadsheet, and then you hand that to a team member, and they're able to do all the free local promotion because it's already done, as opposed to, 6 weeks before the event, the senior pastor's like, how are you promoting? And everybody's like, right? I mean, I'm sorry, this is a system. This is, like you're going to do this multiple times. So do it really well once. Now, okay, that is external promotion. I do want to say we had a comprehensive list of internal promotion, like behind the, front facing the urinals and in the women's restroom, there was a little slider deal that you could put a piece of paper. And we knew how many weeks out that we needed to be on the roster to get our thing in front of the bathroom deal, right? So it was just I'm sorry, Bill, you would expect this of me, wouldn't you?
Yes, absolutely. Oh, there's a system? That's weird.
But the thing is that we just would do a complete brain dump and then have this comprehensive list of external and internal promotions. Now, I do have to say that we're back to the do's and don'ts, we did obsess about this local promotion and the free community boards. We had a comprehensive list. I will tell you, not under my watch, but there were times where our church did do a targeted mailing and spent thousands of dollars. And there are ways to do that. Like the census, I don't know if people realize this, but our government counts every human, every, I don't know how many years. You can have access to that. And you can click a couple of buttons and go, oh, wow, show me families that have children under 13 and live within this radius of our church. And it's like, here's the list. Do you know that, Bill, that you can have access to that?
Yeah. I mean, I think I don't know if this is the census per se, but I know that there are programs like even through the mail service that will like, you can basically just like sign up and do mass mailing and they'll tell you all the addresses.
They can tell you the addresses, but the census, when you merge it together with a census, you can find out, hey, I don't want to send this rather expensive mailer to a 78-year-old female and her 83-year-old husband. That's just not going to be pertinent for us. And so then you can filter those things out. I'm not a fan of those things. I think that there's way more value in the free and the local stuff. So it sounds like you kind of did that as well with your mom, whatever thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think the only thing that a flyer works for is we actually worked with local schools to be able to put the flyer in the backpack, right? So it was like the schools, you know, I mean, every school is going to have a different read and temperature of like working with a church, but we made it really clear, like this is a community event that's open to everybody. It's not some sort of like internal church thing. It's like, we're putting this on for the community. We'd love to tell your students about it. And they said, sure, yeah, we'll print us the flyers. We'll put them in the kids' backpacks.
Yeah. Now here's another one. By the way, you got to work that. You have to like show up and earn the right to be heard.
That's 100% true.
You know, there's a whole thing we could do on how to get into a school. But another thing is social media. And one thing that I suggest to people is come up with a social media team. They're like, well, what does that mean? It's as simple as saying, hey, would you be on a team that as soon as I alert you that we've posted this, and we've put maybe $50 of, you know, Facebook push behind it to a targeted area. The people on this list, they do 3 simple things. Number 1, they like it. Number 2, they comment and say super excited, plus they tag somebody. And then number 3, they share it to their very own page. That automatically gives the algorithm the indication of like kind of forced virality.
Oh yeah. That's a big thing. Well, and the other thing for like Meta too, or Facebook, is making sure you create it as a separate event. So like a lot of churches were like, you know, they have some sort of church management software, or they use their website, and that's where event registration lives. That's where all of that lives. But actually, and that's fine, you can do that and you should do that. You should manage how you're doing the event that way. But you should also create a separate Facebook actual that it lives on Facebook event. Don't just post your link from your event from your website on Facebook. You have to actually create a Facebook event. And when you create that, it allows people to say that they're going. And it's like basically social proof for people.
Yes.
If you go on there as a mom in your area and you see that 30 other moms you know are all going to the Family Fall Fest, guess what you're more likely to do?
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a really powerful thing. Well, okay. So the do's and don'ts: don't do a big spend on a glossy flyer. Do your hard work of the local social stuff. Okay. Here's another do and don't. Don't dump duties in an ambiguous and unclear way to volunteers. Do delegate by using detailed job descriptions. This is a big one.
It's a lot of D's.
It's a lot of D's. Dump duties. Don't. Delegate detailed descriptions. Do.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's quite true though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, this is so huge. I was thinking about this the other day. I have been guilty at times of dumping. I remember we did this major outreach event, and I had to have, we were basically serving donuts for another D. We were serving donuts for these artists for this huge art fest that we had in our thing. Well, the problem is that we had to keep people out of that area who weren't supposed to be there, because once people find out there's free donuts, then all the vendors are coming and all these people are coming, and we really wanted to like honor just
right.
the artist, right?
Yeah.
And so I like was panicking last minute, and I grabbed this volunteer who's very faithful, and I said, "You just need to stand at this door and make sure that only the artists take the donuts. Don't let anybody else take the donuts." She almost left the church. She was like, "That was the absolute worst job for me. I'm an introvert. I don't like saying no to people. I'm
Yeah.
more of a people
Like
pleaser."
she now is like the lightning rod of confrontation.
And I literally didn't give her any not only was she the wrong person, but I gave her like zero instruction. Like I was just like, and so that was a moment where I dumped it. And if I would have thought about it, like I would have first chosen the right person, but I also would have prepped them and shared with them, like, here's what you do. Like, here's how you say this. Here's a script for you. Let's prepare you.
Let me be real about this, Bill. Everybody is not you and everybody is not me. And whoever is out there in podcast land, everybody is not like your personality. People are legitimately very, very, very different. And those differences, like if you were to tell me, hey, just make sure that only vendors come in, I would have made a game of it. I would have been super social. I'd have been making great friends.
Right.
And it would have been a non-thing for me. But for somebody else, that's legitimately the kiss of death. And I totally understand where somebody is like, I actually think I'm leaving the church.
Yeah, she's still around, but she was like, never ask me to do anything like that again, or I will kill you.
Yes. And so people get burned. But I got to say, when it came to setup and tear down, that's a big thing for a big event. You got to understand, of course, that I was, in charge of this event. That was 6,000 people that came through the life of our church over 3 nights. That's a honker of event. That's a biggie.
That's big. Yes.
And in terms of setup, as soon as the church service was done, we had T-minus not very long until Tuesday, 5 p.m. when the event started. So you had this very narrow window because, of course, you can't start, you can't take down the chairs until church is done. Duh.
Right.
Okay. So what we ended up doing is we had a stack of cards that had detailed instructions for one task. Mm-hmm. It was the who, what, when, where, whatever, but also it sometimes had pictures, it had an arrow, all this stuff, but it was in the to be done pile. Now this is not, there's not 5 things to do. There was one thing to do. And that one thing to do might take 5 minutes. It might take 50 minutes. And it was on there, kind of the estimated time. And so then we would feed everybody pizza. By the way, these people that were coming to do these duties, Bill, to set up, some people we grabbed just because we made the announcement at the 11 o'clock service. Hey, there's free pizza. You can help us for a few minutes to set up. People were like, I'm here. So they are completely untrained. We may not even know them. And so we had to have a way for them to be successful without very much direction from us, because you got to keep people moving, right? And so we had this do pile, and then we had the done pile. And so somebody would take a card and they would go, hey, I can't really stay that long. Okay, how about this one? Perfect. And then they would take that task, they would go do that task, they would come back, hand us that, and we would say, would you like another, or do you have any more time to do this? Sure, I'll take another. And they grab another. And so some people did 4 or 5 different tasks because they were shorties. Some people did a singular big one, and they brought it in and said, hey man, rock on. Hope you guys have a good time. So, I mean, that's really, really, really powerful.
Oh yeah, that's huge. Yeah, we do that too. It's so funny how like churches who do, if you've done an event before, we kind of stumble on the same thing eventually because there's a reason why, because it works.
That's right.
But I think what the brilliance of doing those cards is this, that if you don't do it, the result is that you become the bottleneck for getting all of the tasks done, because you have 107 people coming to you saying, what do you want me to do next? What do you want me to do next? You told me to put this cord over here. I don't know where that's at. Can you tell me where that's at? And you're going to have a lot of that anyways. But if you don't give them direction on a piece of paper, you're going to actually hurt your brain because
not only hurt your brain, you're making them stand in an unnecessary line to talk to you, the bottleneck.
Yes.
And then you're
absolutely.
like, we got to run down to the annals of the church to grab that cord. Well, now you're out of play. It's
right.
So this do and done pile. Now I'm telling you, it takes time to create that. You don't create that the day before. This is a weeks in advance thing. However, it pays you off in the future because I doubt this is going to be the only time that you have an event. So create that list, try that strategy. Here's another do and don't. Have volunteer roles that are essential and meaningful. Don't over recruit volunteers and have them stand around and have nothing to do. We kind of just touched on this a little bit ago. If you're the bottleneck for setup or tear down and everybody is like, I would love to help, but what am I supposed to do here? Not good. And you want people to feel like they were useful and that the time that they spent was of a value. Bill, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I kind of want to add to it because yes, have tasks that are meaningful, have roles that are meanexful, but I would also say like make sure you properly equip them on top of it because an example from my own ministry, we would give away balloons at this Art Fest event that we had in our downtown area. And instead of like buying a balloon blower upper,
oh no,
I just had people blowing the first year. I didn't know. I was like, well, I don't know how many balloons we'll give. So like, we'll just have them blow it up as we go or whatever. And so you just have people blue in the face in the back room blowing up balloons.
Somebody having a heart attack. Oh, Bill.
Yep.
Like, dude, you think through everything, but you didn't on that one.
No. I was like, this is a bad move. And then the next year we had a regular air compressor and it's like turning on going, you know, it's so loud. And then it burned out because they're not designed to constantly do that.
So you're 0 for 2.
So then finally they sell these at Walmart now. Yeah. Finally, we bought the actual, like, it's designed for blowing up
It's a little
balloons.
teeny compressor, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's teeny, and it has, like, a little, you know, like, port on it. Yeah. And you can literally just put the thing and...
Yep.
And then, but the nice thing was, because my volunteers had gone through the previous seasons of that...
They loved you for this.
They were like, you're a genius!
They had forgotten about the previous 2 years of stupidity.
Yes. Sometimes we have to learn the hard way.
Oh, we do. Well, don't over recruit because we had this happen at our church. I've already told the story. If you've ever been around me about this topic, I had a volunteer who, prior to me taking it over, she had been over recruited and she had cleared her schedule and she was forever burned and never came back to the event. So make sure you don't do that. Okay, another one. Do execute months in advance and plan ahead. Don't procrastinate and wait to the last 2 weeks to attempt to execute things. Absolute rookie error on this one, brother.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it's really helpful to have a process about that. You kind of said it before, and I recognized it because we do it as well. Is like you need to well in advance, 6 months, depending on how big the event is, you need to well in advance get all the key players and decision makers and ideas people, and you need to brain dump on a whiteboard or on your computers all the things, every single thing you can think about. And then that gives you kind of a roadmap for, okay, so we have all of these things. When do we need to do this thing? We need to do that thing 4 months out. When do we need to do this thing? 2 months out. Communication plan. When do we need to roll out that? You know, like how many weeks before do that people need to hear about it? What are the other touch points?
That's exactly right. And if you're not careful, you get caught with your pants around your ankles and you're a couple of weeks out and there's a lot still left to be done. And that's not only embarrassing, but now it's going to cause you a lot of stress. So execute way in advance. I do agree with you. It is having a leadership team. You do a brain dump, and then you find out where everything is. Well, the last one, strategically invite back into the life of your church consistently. Now, if you're looking at this on YouTube, you can see we have 9 different like little infographic, kind of like little icons or whatever, to show things that you could invite people back to. Now watch this. Don't send only one identical and standard mailing to all families directly after your event. So it's just like, thank you for coming. No, an event should lead to something. An event shouldn't be a dead end. It should lead to something like another opportunity at your church, maybe another event, maybe this onboarding thing. So you need to be thinking like stone to stone to stone to get people to cross the river to become a part of the life of your church.
Oh yeah, that is so true. Well, and I would say the other piece of this too is actually a key thing that you can do is to measure it.
Ooh,
find a way to measure what your event did. Ooh. So you have to measure, like, is this event, because a lot of times I think we as churches, we get caught up on the number, right? How many people attended this year, and how many people attended this year compared to last year? And is the number going up every year? And we think like we measure success. That is one metric of success, right? You don't want to have an event where there's like 2 people there. That's not what we're going for either.
Sure.
But you can't hang your hat on success being everything is about that number, right? So a better way to do it is to say our measurement of success is how many people came to our event for the first time, and how many people who came to our event for the first time have come to something after that event.
That's right.
And so tracking that, the moment you start tracking that is the moment that you start thinking internally about how you can increase that number.
Right. Because that which is tracked, you're going to put mental energy toward making that better. I did the Amazing Chemistry show this last October out in the Bronx in New York City. And it's a completely different environment, dude. Like,
yeah, I bet.
This is like, you talk about, this is not just an inner city church. This is like in the city, bro. And it was well attended. There's like 200 people there, which I thought was huge for this church. But I got word a couple of days later that 5 families came back that Sunday. Now, that is what we're talking about.
Yes, absolutely.
So, and those are the numbers that you want to see increase. And so again, if that is something that you're focused on, then your brain begins to like think of, well, what could we do to ensure that more people come back? Hello, that's the whole point. Anyway, well, gang, we're grateful that all of y'all are here. This has been yet one more podcast to help you, the ministry leader, to make sense of your ministry world and for you to stay afloat. Well, gang, we're grateful for you. We hope you guys catch you on the next one.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of Lead Ministry Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and visit leadministry.com for more episodes and resources. Thanks for listening.